morning, welcome to the video. Monday 28th of July, and as you can see I have a hedge cutter in my hand. So traditionally, since the drought of 2018, I sort of took on some hedge cutting, which I've kind of ended up being stuck with, which in seasons like last year is quite hard to manage because obviously the grass is growing constantly. However, a season like this season where it's the growth is a little bit slower, actually it's quite a useful little thing to have, just to sort of help the money coming in when the lawns can't be fed or cut. So I've only got a few of these, and it's something I don't advertise. But anyway, it's myself and Ollie today. We essentially got 3 hedges to cut, all to be done today. So one is this perimeter cut, which starts off being holly, but then turns into a bit of everything, and it kind of goes all the way down and then round. And you remember last week the last 2 weeks in fact, I've done a bit up the other side of the tennis court. We've then got that kind of wavy yew hedge at the top of the wall, much bigger on the other side, and then there's one out on the roadside. So the job is just to get as much done as possible today, and then I'll be on my own tomorrow. As I say, I've got Ollie helping me, so he'll be helping with the clear up, and yeah, then we'll take it from there. Okay, so there we go, all done, and that's all the way around. Obviously you can see if I zoom in, you can see into the paddock behind, which you couldn't do beforehand. So tomorrow I'll be back and I'll be doing the yew up there. Zoom out a little bit. Obviously, as I say, it's bigger on the other side. Okay, so day 2. So that was day 1. It's annoying that there's bits sticking up, but I just can't get to them because this hedge is really high on the other side. So it's down to the neighbours who aren't that bothered. Seems to be the common theme, doesn't it? So today is this yew hedge. It's kind of cool. It's sort of all over the place. So for yew and for box, I use the HSA 86, normally with the AP200 battery, and I try and keep it like that so the blades don't go too blunt. I don't ever cut wood with this. I don't ever cut anything which could be considered grass or something. Yeah, does a really good job. I'm really pleased. Okay, so that's the side done. Do the same on the other side, and then we'll work on the top. The only problem with this side is it's on a wall. So you basically have to walk along the wall while nibbling your toes, essentially. Yesterday, as I was driving home, I realised I forgot to sort of show you the finished article. I may have taken a photo, so if I have, I'll include that now. If I haven't, then I didn't. So I'm at a Friday lawn on a Wednesday, but don't worry, I'll still be here on a Friday. Remember last week? I think it's greened up. I really do. So if you remember last week, we aerated, solid tine, pencil tines. You can kind of see the holes in the ground now, and then we sprayed the weeds. And as you can see, the weeds are really standing out, because what they're doing is, it's a growth hormone, so they're growing their whole life and burning themselves out. So this will take about 2 weeks. So yeah, so this is great. So that was the other thing that we did. So today Ollie wasn't available to help me. The plan was to cut this hedge. This is with I think it's the 12-foot henchman and the extended and the long-handled hedge trimmer. I'm essentially standing on the top, just sort of trying to get the top. So I've got a traditional ladder, but the problem is this ground actually falls away quite a bit here, so it's very, very uneven. So I have to have someone stand on it and shore it up for me while I'm up there to get the top. It's not so bad next door. Next door it's a bit more even all the way along. And here's not too bad. It's when you get down there that becomes a really high hedge. So yeah, we're not doing that today. But what we are going to do is these hornbeam boxes. So I've got the tool henchman for that. And then what we're going to do is you can see the U kind of divider hedges. We're just going to sort of top those off, and that's probably going to be enough for today, I'd imagine. Thursday, and we've got rain. So this is expected, but I thought it was coming later, so it doesn't matter. So essentially 2 jobs today on a Thursday. I've spent 2 days pretty much at one of the Thursday jobs doing hedging. So I'd planned the grass. You could easily justify a cut, but just for scheduling of getting into everybody, I thought, you know what, we'll just leave it one more week. I believe they've got a party not this weekend coming, the following one, so then that would work out well to get all the lawns cut in time for that. So yeah, so only the 2. So what I've pretty much been doing on a Thursday, the smaller weekly lawn, if you remember last week I cut that and solid tined aerated it. So now it's raining, hopefully the ground is going to catch a little bit more of this water. So what I'm actually going to do also while it's raining is I'm going to go there now, and I'm going to probably cut and then feed it, just to try and speed up that kind of recovery process. Also, there's holes in the ground, so some of that fertilizer is going to drop down into the holes and get down into the roots, so that's cool. And then we're going to go on to the larger Thursday lawn, the John Deere lawn, if you want to call it that, and probably cut the grass. I'd imagine it'll need it. If you remember, was it last week? I think it was last week. Or was it the week before? Doesn't matter. Essentially, no, it was last week, I think. Anyway, I fed it. So that was the follow-on feed from up there. And then I'll just finish the day off on hedging. I haven't got any pickups or drop-offs to do, so I can, you know, spend a decent amount of time there. And that's why I'll do it this way round, so I can spend as long as I need to spend on the hedging, as opposed to you know, giving myself kind of a time where I have to leave because I've got to go back and cut this other lawn. So I'll do that one first. Anyways, I'll see you when I'm there. Okay, so we had a bit of rain while I was mowing, so lawn's cut and it's really greened up massively. Obviously I've just put the feed down, so hopefully next week it will be even more improvements. Okay, so here you go. If you remember what it looked like a couple of weeks ago, it's popped right back. So I fed the back, and now what I've done is with the blower is I've just blown the patio off. It's quite a light sort of, I guess it's like a porcelain, so I don't want any staining on there. I haven't done the front yet. I wanted to get the back done blown off as quick as possible. Everything is quite wet, so that sort of goes in your favour, but it does mean that the fertiliser sticks a bit more, whereas if it's dry, it's very dusty, you can just kind of blow it off and it's fine. So now we're going to do the same with the front. You can hear the bin man, for bin man fans, and yeah, so get this one done. There's it's all gravel and flower beds and stuff, so you don't have to worry about spilling fertiliser on sides and things like that. So yeah, even that's come back a little bit. And then also, once that bit of hedging's done, we've got all round the swimming pool to do, which wasn't done because of the wasps. And then just general tidying up, really. Probably hack all that back, that's overgrown. And the grass. Yeah, it's raining alright, on and off all day, and thunder. Well, no lightning that I've noticed, but plenty of thunder. So yeah, I think I'm just going to get this tidied up and then call it a day. So 2 hedges done and down the hallway too. Now there's a small gap in the window with the rain, so all I'm going to do is now just stripe that lawn up, take a little bit off the top just to keep on top of it. You can see up here too. So this hedge actually belongs to that property, but they struggle to see out the driveway when they pull out, so that's why we cut it. so it just means I've tried to sort of blend it in a little bit, but yeah, makes a big difference. It's Friday, and I'm an hour late starting for a couple of reasons, but I've just driven past the three houses that I do on a Friday. If you remember last week, I gave them a light cut and I solid timed them. Now we had a lot of rain last night, and they have this one's by far the worst out of all of them, but particularly the other ones, I cannot believe how much they've greened up. It's unbelievable. So yeah, so it's a usual mowing day. Just to get the growth down, I am going to on this one feed it, and yeah, well, I might feed all of them actually. Now there's a bit of moisture back in there, just to really sort of aid that recovery. Yeah, it's good. And then aerate one of the back lawns on one of them, possibly if I've got time. Okay, so first property done. That was just a cut. I might go back and feed that later. I'm just really struggling for time now. Here you can see how much that's greened up. I mean, that patch under the tree, I mean, it is what it is, that section there, but generally a lush of sort of greenness has really popped back. So these lawns, they're going to be at the start of next month. What we'll look to do is sort of scalp them right down, scarify them, and then overseed them. What I'm hoping is that I will have some form of seed spiker or slitter or something, just because they're quite large areas, especially some of the properties here, to bring that amount of topsoil in. It's not just the cost, it's the time as well, and my back. So what we will look to do is try and get the seed into the ground, so we can get that seed to soil contact but not need the top dressing. There'll be areas where we'll probably need to bring a little bit in, but you know, I don't want to bring in, if we were to do all the areas that I've got earmarked for overseeding, we would be looking at 5,000-6,000 square meters. I can't do the maths off the top of my head of how many cubic meters or how many bags that is, but it's a lot. Morning. So it's Saturday. Don't usually work Saturdays because my wife works Saturdays. That's generally how it works, but she's not, and I've got something really cool happening this week, which you'll have to watch next week's video to find out what it was. But I need a little bit of a flexibility because of it. So this property, I guess, has got off schedule, so actually probably should have been done on Wednesday. Its usual day would be Wednesday this week coming, but because I need that flexibility, I'm just doing it on Saturday, and that's the beauty. No one lives here, so I can kind of come and go as I please. So yeah, just giving it a quick mow round and everything, usual sort of tidy up. So thanks for watching. As I say, look forward to next week's video. Something really cool is happening. See you later.